Well, in a world on edge, global markets are reflecting the chaos. Oil is on the boil, gold is glittering, and the US dollar is now slipping. The Israel-Iran war has reignited fears of a wider regional conflict. It's not just a political crisis, it's an economic shock, which is being felt across energy markets. And tonight on Gravitas, we decode how this war is impacting oil prices and why gold may soon become the world's ultimate safe haven. Crude oil has rallied by nearly 10% since Israel launched preemptive strikes on Iran last week. Markets are on edge. This isn't just another West Asia flare-up. This is a potential disruption to the very infrastructure that powers the global economy. Oil exports from West Asia, the volatility in crude markets is now higher than during Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Oil options markets are flashing red. Bets on Brent crude derivatives have spiked to record levels, indicating deep concern over tightening supply. Even more, telling oil options are more bullish now than they were in the early days of the Russia-Ukraine war. Brent crude touched its highest level since January. US crude is not far behind, closing at its 5-month high on Tuesday. What's driving this rally? Not just the bombs falling in Iran, but also political statements with real economic impact. US President Donald Trump is now a viral post calling for Iran's unconditional surrender yesterday. He even floated the idea of targeting Iran's supreme leader, though he later said that that was not the plan for now. But markets heard the signal. The threat of escalation is real. Airfares are also rising as major airways cancel or reroute their flights. Aviation fuel is also sensitive to change in crude oil prices. That's just another reminder of how a conflict in one part of the world can impact daily lives for millions of people around the world. Well, as oil surges, another asset is making headlines. That is gold. The yellow metal is up 27% year to date, hitting repeated all-time highs. Why, you may wonder? Because central banks are making a silent but powerful shift away from the dollar and towards gold. A new World Gold Council survey reveals 95% of central banks expect global gold reserves to rise over the next year. 43% plan to increase their own holdings, and 73% foresee a decline in US dollar reserves over the next year. Still, not everyone is optimistic. City experts have cut their gold forecast to $3,300 an ounce over the next 3 months, down from an early estimate of $3,500. They warn that the peak may have already passed, especially as investment demand plateaus and mine supply catches up. But they also admit, if geopolitical tensions worsen or stagflation fears return, gold could surge again. So what does all this mean for you? Well, the global economy is walking a tightrope. Wars are no longer regional. They are economic events. Investors are scrambling. Crude oil is more volatile than it was during the Russia-Ukraine war. Gold is replacing the dollar in global reserves, and markets are bracing for what could come next.